Guys, tonight I want to talk a little bit about what's happening around this time in the project and also what's going to be coming up next. What's happening around this time of the project is that I've actually finished most of the writing. Like, I've written the draft of the book, as you saw from the video yesterday. All I have to do now is add in a few exercises for the reader, write the bonus chapter that's going to be a freebie for some people who want to follow up on a couple of things, and do some other peripheral stuff like that. And then what I pretty much have after that is the rest of the project, which is the editing, the design, and the launch. We're coming up on halfway through. Next week, we're about a week shy of halfway through this 90-day challenge, and there's some interesting things about that. One is that for the last week and change, making these videos has been harder. Like, not because the writing has been more difficult, although in some cases that's gone a little more slowly than I'd planned, and not because of other things that have happened peripherally, although that's certainly been a factor, but I'm sort of in the middle of this, and there's a little bit of a doldrums element to the middle of a 90-day project, where the initial excitement is not really there anymore, but we haven't gotten quite far enough to the point of saying I'm really close to being done and I want to finish strong. So that's one of the reasons that I've been doing these videos late at night, because I just haven't thought about doing them or had the motivation to doing them earlier in the day. And that's one of the reasons that some of them have been kind of BS, even though some of them haven't been. But in the interest of being real, in the interest of talking about everything that happens during this project, and in the interest of really showing, what the first time writing a book and launching a book is like, this is not a factor that I want to ignore. If I am struggling a little bit, I really want to acknowledge that, and I want to point to that and say, this is something that first-time authors can deal with, especially if they're taking multiple months to write a book, which many of them will be. There's certainly something to be said for the fact that I budgeted 2 weeks to write the book, and it's taken me 2.5. I mean, that's fine. That's nothing. That's certainly a lot better than if I had budgeted, 1 month and it had taken 4. At the same time, I think one of the things that's actually happening here is that I'm starting to approach the part of this project that I don't know how to do yet. And I think there's part of me that may subconsciously be dragging my feet a little bit and thinking, if I slow down and take some extra days on this writing part, maybe I won't have to deal with the parts that I don't know how to do yet as soon as I would if I were just charging through like I'd originally intended to. And while that probably isn't serving me very well, it is what's happening, or it is what has been happening. So what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to address that heads on, and I'm going to basically say, okay, there are some aspects of this project that I'm kind of scared of. There's some aspects of this project that I really don't know how to do. I mean, I know how to edit, but I'm not my own editor, so finding another editor is going to be interesting. Paying for one is also going to be interesting. Design is taken care of. I'm not concerned about that. I have a very good designer, and we're already talking about that. But for all that I have edited many books and ghostwritten a few and had members of my team launch them, I've never published a book myself. And that's what makes this project as significant as it is, in that for all that I'm coming from a different direction and a different background, I'm in the same boat as any other first-time author who doesn't know what the hell they're doing. Because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I know how to write well. I know how to speak eloquently on the topic that I'm going to talk about, or that I have been talking about in my book. I'm not concerned about the quality of the final product, because that's something I dedicate my life to, both personally and professionally. But marketing scares the hell out of me. Marketing's like learning another language by immersion. It's like having to learn Japanese by moving to Tokyo with no translating guide and no dictionary and no plan. I have a plan, or at least I have a friend who's going to help me make a plan, because that's what he does for a living, but there's still a sense of, if I put this off for a few more days, that's a few more days that I don't have to deal with it. So I'm acknowledging that. I'm pointing that out to myself and to you guys, and I'm going to try and be better about facing that and not putting it off, so that, you know, the sooner I start, the sooner I can really suck at it, and then the sooner I can start to get better and start to not be as scared of it. So that's going to be the plan going forward. I'll let you know in the next day or so, as I finish up the rest of the writing and start planning on my next steps strategically, how that's going to look. I did have a great conversation today with my designer. We're getting some great ideas for the cover, and I'm really looking forward to showing you guys that and seeing what you think. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. Sorry for the ramblings of this particular video, but this was sort of on my mind and on my heart, and I wanted to get it out and share it with you guys. So I'm going to get some sleep. See y'all tomorrow.